Social media is an extraordinarily powerful marketing tool. Through social media, you can interact directly with your customers and build strong bonds with them. You can drive traffic and gain exposure with new audiences. You can harness the power of social media to generate leads and sales, or to position yourself as a thought leader in your industry. The only trouble is that the social media landscape is constantly changing. New social media sites spring up, new tools and features are added to platforms, and new ways of interacting become available. In order to harness the power of social media effectively, whatever your aim, you need to stay on top of these changes and continuously look for ways to engage with your audience. In the past, it was enough to simply create a social media profile. That's no longer the case. Social media platforms are free, but now businesses must invest in a great deal of time and effort developing content, driving engagement, and monitoring performance. How do you know whether your content is effective and engaging? Is your current social media marketing strategy delivering the desired results? Are there better or more efficient methods? How could you improve your social media presence? If you found yourself asking these questions before, you're not alone. Small business owners, entrepreneurs, and professional marketers constantly struggle with these concerns. The focus of this course is to show you the best ways to engage your social media followers. One thing that all social media platforms have in common, and that won't change over time, is that engagement is vital to social media marketing. Strong engagement offers a competitive advantage that helps you build and maintain a strong customer base, which can then lead to purchases, referrals, new business, new audience members, and other beneficial outcomes for your business. By the time you complete this course, you'll be able to
select the best social media platforms and features to incorporate into your social media strategy to maximize audience engagement. Maximize your social media profile settings to drive engagement whether you're just getting started or brushing up your existing account. Incorporate top strategies to increase engagement, including proven ways to engage followers, crafting the best voice and tone for your social media content, and how to make that content engaging. Put it all together by building a social media strategy that'll save you time and increase engagement. Measure the success of your social media program so that you know what's working and where to focus your energy.
The first step in creating an effective social media marketing strategy is to understand which social media platforms are most pertinent to your business and industry. The Social Media Examiner, a site widely recognized as one of the leading authorities on social media marketing trends, surveyed more than 5,000 marketers and published the results in a recent report. It found that the current top 7 social media platforms in terms of audience size are
1. Facebook. 2. Twitter. 3. LinkedIn. 4. YouTube. 5. Google+. 6. Instagram. 7. Pinterest.
According to a recent survey, 93% of marketers use top social media site Facebook. There are many other social media platforms beside these 7, but no matter who your audience is, it's highly likely that they'll be active on one or more of these platforms. In terms of top platforms to use, there are some key differences between B2B, business to business, and B2C, business to customer. The top 5 B2C platforms are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. For B2B, there are LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+.
There are 3 key things to consider when choosing your social media platforms. 1. Your market and which platforms it uses or is likely to use. 2. Where you will get the most engagement from your audience. 3. How much time you have to allocate to managing multiple platforms. You can discover the information above through a number of methods. One is to survey your customers. You can also use Google Analytics or other analytic tools to see where your customers most actively engage with your content. Another method is to look at which platforms your competitors are using.
In the end, you'll want to stick to 2 or 3 platforms at most. It's better to do a few channels really well than many badly. Plus, splitting your focus on many may not get you any results. But in the research stages, you can try out several platforms and narrow it down.
When looking at which platforms to use, here are a few things to consider. Does the platform relate to your business needs and goals? For example, if your primary goal is to sell directly through the social media site, you'll need a platform where that's possible or one that has e-commerce features built in. You'll also need to consider the audience and choose a platform where people are shopping and buying. Which audiences does the platform serve? For example, there may be differences in preferences between retirees and millennials. You'll need to identify your target audience and make sure they're engaging with the relevant content on the site. To help you decide which social media platforms to use, here are some key characteristics of each of the major ones. Facebook is the largest social media network at the time of writing, and it's used by virtually everyone in every demographic. It has 1.6 billion monthly active users, and although it's used by people of all ages, the primary age group is 25 to 45. The breakdown is about 60% female and 40% male. Over 50 million small and medium businesses use Facebook to engage with their customers. Facebook is great for building brand loyalty and reputation. It allows you to create a page for your business. It offers advertising to help you expand your audience base. You can interact with your audience, and there are excellent back-end analytic tools. There are plenty of opportunities on Facebook for sharing content, telling your story, and communicating with your audience. The site is constantly adding new features, especially for business, and it has an ads network that is effective and flexible. Twitter has 320 million active monthly users. The average age is from 18 to 29 years old, and users are split fairly evenly between male and female. On Twitter, breaking news, quick updates, and link sharing are all popular forms of content. You can use Twitter to interact with prospects, answer questions, share news, and gain new followers. It's great for growing your audience rapidly outside of your immediate network. At the time of writing, the limit for tweets is 140 characters, so what you say needs to be short and sweet. This character limit could be expanded in the future. Twitter is the social media platform that first pioneered hashtags, which are used heavily on this site. It's also a great platform for PR. LinkedIn is the top site for professional networking and job seekers. It's focused on B2B businesses. It has 450 million users and is underutilized by small business. It's more serious than other platforms, focusing on business-related content rather than the casual use among friends. This platform is great for building relationships with people in similar industries, networking, and displaying business-related data and statistics. Businesses can use LinkedIn to establish themselves through thought leadership and the nurturing of leads. It's especially good for web traffic, sending 4 times more visitors to websites than Twitter and Facebook. Instagram is owned by Facebook. It has 500 million monthly active users and 300 million who report using it daily. Around 70% of users are females between 18 and 35. Instagram is a photo sharing platform with built-in filters for editing and beautifying images. It's especially useful for businesses that are visually orientated. Most Instagram usage is via smartphone, as the platform is for mobile users rather than desktop. You can use Instagram to show products, staff pics, office events, and so on, making it great for adding a human element to your business. One of Instagram's strengths is that it's good for branding. Visuals are important for branding, and some businesses use certain filters, design features, or color themes for their photos they share to achieve a unique look. Businesses often use images to tell stories. Cake shops post creative cakes, hairdressers share hairstyles, fitness coaches post inspiring quotes, and so on. YouTube has 1.3 billion users, and 80% of YouTube views come from outside the United States. It reaches more people in the 18 to 34 and 18 to 49 demographics than any cable network. It gets an average of 1 billion views per day, and half of these views are on mobile devices. The number of hours people watch YouTube per day has been increasing 60% year over year. Only around 9% of US-based small businesses use YouTube. which means it still has a lot of marketing potential. Video is growing in popularity and there is little competition, so YouTube is a great social media channel for small businesses to use. You can produce various types of videos or simple video blogs. Videos can be shared on other social media networks like Twitter and Facebook, and it's also used for live streaming. One last advantage of YouTube is that it's owned by Google, offering better SEO, search engine optimization, benefits compared to other video sharing sites. Google Plus has 300 million active users per month. Around 75% of them are male and 55% are based in the US. As far as functionality goes, Google Plus is something like a combination of Twitter and Facebook, but with added features designed specifically for marketing. Like YouTube, it's a Google product, which gives it extra SEO benefits. Like LinkedIn, Google Plus users like to interact with other businesses as well as customers. It's good for business networking as well as engaging with your audience. Pinterest has about 70 million users and 80% of them are women between the ages of 25 and 45. Like Instagram, Pinterest is image-based. It's good for retail businesses, photographers, e-commerce, and anything else with a visual aspect. You can also share checklists, infographics, guides, quotes, and other text-based content in image form. Since quality of image is a major concern on Pinterest, you need to make sure that you are capable of producing these images if you're going to use the site effectively.
Whether you're just getting started with social media or trying to strengthen your social media presence, it's a good idea to start with a profile that is optimized for engagement. How you set up your account plays a major role in how you're perceived by your audience. Just like in-person meetings, first impressions are very important with social media. Users will see your profile and quickly form an opinion about you, and this will determine whether they want to engage with you at all. Some social media platforms make a distinction between personal and business pages, and others don't. This is something you'll need to think about if the option is available. On many social networks, people use their personal profiles for their businesses. In this case, you would use your actual name but tell visitors to your profile about your business in your headline. In the experience section, you would tell people what it is that your business does.
When there is a distinction between personal and business pages, you should use a business page. Business pages offers various advantages such as analytics. Two sites that distinguish between personal and business pages are Facebook and LinkedIn. On Facebook, you definitely don't want to use your personal profile for your business. Create a separate page for your business. You can always share your business page's posts on your personal profile. On LinkedIn, you have the option of either setting up a company page or using your personal profile for your business. Both options are fine. If you're a solo entrepreneur or you're the core of your business, it might be better to simply use a personal profile. If you want to focus more on the brand and not on the individual behind it, a business page would be better. You can also create a company page and use it as a supplement to your personal profile that focuses more on your business. If you already use LinkedIn and want to change your personal page to include your business, be sure to turn off Notify Your Network before you start working on it. Otherwise, every single change you make will be broadcasted to all of your contacts. Google Plus and Pinterest also have the option of choosing a business page rather than a personal profile. Aside from special business-specific features, another advantage of Google Plus is that you can separate the content you share so that you're not sharing business-related content with your personal contacts who may not be interested.
Probably the most important part of your profile is your picture. This is what people will see every time they interact with you on social media. It's a part of your social media presence that others will notice first.
People like to know who you are as a person. It's always better for small businesses to use a picture of the owner as their profile image, rather than a logo or related image. This puts a face to your business, which is important in the social media world. People want to engage with other people, not with a logo. The photo should be professional looking and not a selfie. It should show just one person who is the figurehead of your organization, not a group of people. It is best to take a picture of your face and crop it somewhere around the chest rather than a full body image. You should be smiling and the image should showcase your personality. It's often instructive to consider what not to do rather than what to do. Here are some things you should avoid in your pictures. Wearing sunglasses, an intrusive hat, or anything else that might cover your face. Pictures that are too close up, so that your face seems huge. Pictures at weddings or parties where you look inebriated or otherwise chemically altered. You with a baby or a pet. Pictures that appear dark or serious, or have shadows in bad places. Be careful with pictures where you're indulging in your favorite hobby. It's best to use a picture where you're just smiling and giving the camera your full attention. Your modeling headshot or anything else that seems fake.
Most platforms give you a banner image. Facebook calls it a cover photo to go along with your profile picture. Users see this only when they visit your profile, sitting prominently at the top of your profile. It offers prime online real estate, so you need to make it count.
Choose a banner image that shows what your company or brand is about. It's perfectly fine to use your logo here. The best banners tell the visitor exactly what industry and business you're in at a first glance. Focus on conveying personality. Each platform has its own size specifications, so choose your banner image accordingly. After uploading it, always check to see that it looks the way you expected it to look.
Another important piece of internet real estate is your headline. This is a bit of text that is displayed at the top of your profile near your images. This text should state clearly and concisely whatever you feel people should know about your business. Don't simply put your job title.
The best headlines describe what a business does in terms of the benefits it offers to its customers. For example, rather than writing SEO expert, you might say something like, helping customers find you online. The latter focuses on the real results the client gets by hiring you. Don't be afraid to talk yourself up in your headline. Many businesses hold back and try to be humble because they want to come across as approachable. But one purpose of the headline is to sell your brand to your visitors. Make bold claims and show your expertise. For example, rather than using a headline like father, coffee enthusiast, and writer with a passion for technology, it's better to use something like award-winning tech blogger and consultant, proud father, and coffee enthusiast. Use the words here at the top of your profile to show your value. Be someone your visitor would want to meet and talk to.
Most social media platforms allow you to create a vanity URL instead of the random series of letters or numbers that the site gives you. You can choose the name of your company or brand instead. Each site is different, so follow the instructions for creating your vanity URL and choose something that you can easily reference and share. Be aware that there could be some restrictions for using vanity URL. For example, using one might impose a limit on your number of followers. Many platforms require a minimum number of followers or subscribers in order to qualify for a vanity URL. Make sure that any website links you have for your business are prominently displayed on your social media profiles. Each platform has its own rules about where links can be placed, but try to put them in your general summary, even if they aren't clickable. Facebook, YouTube, and Google+ all give you places where you can put your links. In addition to your business page, there are also groups that you can set up for your customers or followers. There are exclusive communities and other types of groups. Your page is for the public, but groups provide interaction that is more exclusive. Typically, you'll selectively approve members, so it's a great opportunity for engagement.
For example, a coach who mentors new coaches might have a Facebook page to promote their business, but also groups for coaches in training. Once a person finds you through a business page, they can then begin training through a group that you've created for them. Groups on Facebook can be open, closed, or private. Open groups can be viewed by anyone and the content in the group will show up on search engine results. Members must be added to closed groups by administrators and the content is viewable only to members. For private groups, all content, including who the members are, is viewable only by members. When deciding whether to create an open, closed, or private group, consider the needs of your customers and your overall purpose. Is the content of the group something that would be of interest to non-members? For example, if you're a data consultant and you create a group for your clients, the content would be technical and specific, and thus not of interest to non-members. Confidentiality is also something to consider. On the other end, if you're a retail store offering special offers and deals through the group, this might be something you'd like non-members to see as well. Facebook allows you to create paid groups where members are automatically added as they pay for a service and officially become your customer. Exclusive membership is a bonus for buying from you. Like an email newsletter, you can then use your group to offer exclusive offers and deals to your customers.
In general, you can get fuller and more authentic interactions with closed groups because members feel safer. It creates a closed group environment where not everyone on the internet can see what's going on. On LinkedIn, you can create your own group, or you can join groups that have already been set up in order to meet people outside of your regular network.
The groups you join are visible to your connections, so this is a good way to showcase your brand and values. You can join groups from various areas of your life, such as your professional life or education, as well as your interests, local groups, social causes, and groups that show your thought leadership. Select your groups carefully, since you can't be actively involved in many. Choose groups that have strong memberships with members who are in your target audience. Make sure the group is active. Check out the group to make sure that the tone and ideas expressed in it are what you expected and reflect your brand's values. Once you've joined a group, become an active member. The more you post in your groups, the more other members will see you. This will increase the likeliness that they will check out your profile, which will lead to more traffic and new leads.
With any kind of group, you'll need to check in frequently and act as a moderator. As a moderator, your job is to make sure no one is violating the rules that you've set down, but also keep the conversation flowing when it dries up. You may need to stimulate some interaction. LinkedIn Posts is a relatively underutilized feature of LinkedIn. Posts allow you to write longer form content. In short, this feature allows you to blog through LinkedIn. This is different from the updates feature, through which you post a quick update similar to Facebook. Since LinkedIn is a platform that can drive traffic to your website, you can establish yourself as an expert or thought leader by posting high-value content here. Posts are shared with your connections and followers, and members outside your network can also see them and start following you. You can also synchronize your social media platforms so that you update all social media platforms at the same time, thus expanding your reach.
With LinkedIn posts, be careful about selling. Your content shouldn't be promotional, but should be used to establish yourself as an expert. Provide helpful, insightful information for your audience, along with links to further information to lead readers to your sites or other profiles. Some small businesses post the same content to their regular blog and their LinkedIn posts. This works well when you have a new audience on LinkedIn that is not on your regular blog readership. If you have the capability, it's best to produce original content on each. Otherwise, another good strategy is to post on your blog first and then wait a few days before posting on LinkedIn, so that Google will index your blog posts first.
There is one simple key to communicating with your audience in a way that increases engagement. That is to shift the focus away from yourself and to your audience. Go from a monologue to a multi-directional audience-focused dialogue. The same philosophy has been applied in many different fields. In education, it's known as the shift from the sage on the stage to guide by the side. In public speaking, it's the shift from presenting to facilitating. You can see the same shift in modern marketing from company-focused, top-down, one-way messaging to collaborative, story-based, two-way conversations. This two-way dialogue is important, especially on social media. Users expect it, and creating a dialogue is crucial if you hope to generate engagement.
Focus on multi-person dialogue rather than simply trying to be heard. Your post should encourage comments and engagement from your audience. Before you start, Get to know your audience so that you know what kinds of topics will get them talking. What are their common interests? What do they like talking about? What problems, questions, or concerns do they have? Once you know this, you can start posting content to get them talking. Pay attention to your audience and recognize them. Comment on their blogs and content, share their content, and tag them whenever appropriate. People love to get a shout out from the brands or people they follow. If you praise and recognize others, this will encourage more engagement from your audience. Learn how to handle feedback well. Encourage positive feedback and listen to what your audience tells you. When you get negative feedback, handle it appropriately. Be diplomatic and not defensive. Ask negative commenters to clarify and show that you're listening to their criticism.
It's important to always be positive in your interactions online. Negative posts are unprofessional, will turn people off and cause followers to unfollow you. A study using Twitter found that those with higher follower counts had less negativity in their tweets. Even though you keep your business and personal pages separate, you should be mindful of this on your personal page as well. People will look you up, so make sure that your communications are positive across all channels that are connected to your business. If you're negative on your personal page but positive on your business page, this will cause a disconnect that can seriously hurt your branding. People will wonder whether you are genuine or not. A positive social media post uses positive expressive punctuation like exclamation marks, uses positive language, terms and words, references community members using @ or directly by their name, asks the community questions, uses bright, colorful and cheerful images. Share content that you're excited about and let your natural excitement come through. Use a tone for your post that is really yours. Make it genuine and authentic. Many small businesses outsource their social media management because it's a task that requires constant attention, but this can cause authenticity issues. It's better to manage your own social media, at least until your brand has a clear, widely recognized voice of its own that your content writer can imitate. Connect to powerful emotions like curiosity, humor, wonder, and interest. Research has shown that powerful positive emotions in Facebook posts lead to more engagement. You can share images and videos that connect to these emotions, rather than simple news stories or other content. A good example would be an image with an inspirational quote on it. Year 2, avoid negative emotions. Although you can connect to people through anger or fear, this means negativity in your social media feeds.
Make your posts personal by, for example, posting about milestones for your business. You can post content about your personal life as well, as long as it's something you think your audience would enjoy. Personal posts are especially good if they tie in somehow with your business. The goal here is to post content that humanizes your brand. Monitor your social media activity and respond to people who comment on your posts or mention you in their posts. If it takes time to answer a particular question, tell the commenter that you're working on it. It's important to respond in a timely manner to social media activity. The faster you respond, the more likely you'll keep the dialogue going. Try to respond within an hour, especially to negative posts. You can sign up for updates or push notifications so that you're notified as soon as you have a like or a comment.
Now that you have some ideas on how to engage and manage your social media, what kind of content should you actually post? Here are some ideas on common types of content that businesses share. Images are very important on social media. Research indicates that posts with images get far more views and engagement than those that are just text. Visual content could be photographs, illustrations, charts, infographics, or screenshots. You can also take text and make visual content out of it, such as a meme or an inspirational quote graphic. The only rule for visuals is that they should be interesting and beautiful.
Tools help a great deal in creating, editing, and posting images. A few highly recommended tools include Canva for creating free images, PicMonkey for editing photos, Jing for capturing screenshots, Pixel for enhancing images, Google Drawings for creative visual content creation, PowerPoint for creating graphics, Slide content can also be saved as an IMG or JPEG and shared.
Video is extremely popular on social media, and most platforms have a way to publish or stream video. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter have native video tools within their platforms. You can upload your own videos from a PC or mobile device to your posts. For training, tutorials, or other how-to content, you can use video screenshots that film your computer screen as you work.
Excellent tools for video production and sharing include Snagit for screen capture, Camtasia for recording your screen and editing videos, ScreenFlow for screencasting and video editing, Screencast-O-Matic for creating and sharing recordings.
It's good to offer a variety of content and sources on your social media profiles. Broadly speaking, content can be divided into 3 categories. 1. Content created by you. 2. Content shared by you. 3. Content that is meant to engage. Let's take a look at some examples of each.
Content that is created by you can come in many different forms, including links to other content you've created, like blog posts, articles, or videos, promotional offers, ideas or spur-of-the-moment thoughts that you have, image banners, posts that you're reposting from other social media sites, sharing your tweets on Facebook, etc. Again, it's best to provide a mix of content and not just post the same type. The most engaging social media content is short and sweet. Your audience is scanning their newsfeed, casually looking for something that catches their attention. They're likely to ignore a huge block of text or a long video. Keep your posts short and to the point. Images and videos. Posts with images or videos are much more likely to grab the attention of your audience. Contains direct links. Make sure that whenever you share a link, it's a direct link. For example, when you add a link to your post on Facebook, it'll create an image showing a preview of the website that is clickable. You can then add your own custom headline or comments. Your audience can click the link and go directly to the website. Present it in a variety of formats. Try to share as much of a variety of content as possible. Get into a schedule where you combine text, photos, links, and video to stimulate your audience. Content shared by you can be found through natural search as well as automation. You'll find content to share from others naturally by reading the feeds of other users and thought leaders in your field. But the best and most efficient way to find high-quality content to share regularly is to sign up for news subscriptions. You can have top news stories and other content delivered directly to your email inbox, which takes some work out of the process for you. Content created through efforts to engage with your audience includes replies, likes, mentions, questions to your community, and so on. All content is intended to engage, but this third type of content is more direct, like asking your audience for their opinion on an idea or a piece of short content.
A good way to present a mix of these 3 types of content is to use the 1:1:1 ratio, meaning each type is equally weighted. However, you should feel free to adjust this ratio according to your own preference. You might prefer, for instance, to emphasize your own content and post this more frequently than curated content. On the other hand, you may feel that efforts to engage with questions and mentions get the most results, in which case you'd put more effort there. Once you start sharing content, monitor the results and see which your audience responds to most. Choose a ratio accordingly, also taking into account your own capabilities. For example, it might be difficult to produce 40% of your own original content. Now that you've learned the basics of engagement and identified how you're going to engage your audience on different platforms with a mix of content, it's time to bring it all together. The first step to building your social media engagement plan is to consider your audience. Your audience preferences and tastes will determine everything you do on social media. This is the secret to engagement. A good place to start is by following key influencers in your industry. Seek out the people that other people listen to. These are individuals with rich social media followings, where everyone goes to for their news and information. Identify influencers and look closely at how they engage their audience. What can you learn from their engagement strategy and techniques? Next, get into the habit of listening to your audience with the aim of understanding their values, feelings, and tastes. Put your audience at the center of what you do with your business page. Many businesses make the mistake of applying their personal social media strategy to their business. The problem is with this is that your personal account's content is all about you. You are the center of it. You need the opposite approach for your business, where you put your audience and customer at the center. Your post should be responsive to what your clients and prospects are struggling with. Ask yourself,
how can you add value? How can you make your audience members' days better or easier? How can you delight your audience? How can you put a smile on the faces of your followers?
the way you do all of the above is by knowing your audience well, and you get to know them by listening. When and where are they online? What are they interested in? What are they talking about? What content are they reading, liking, sharing, commenting on, or hashtagging? Timing is an important aspect of social media engagement. You should be posting content at optimal times when your audience is actively engaged with social media. You can discover the best time to post by trying different days and times and seeing when you get the best reaction by viewing your analytics. Downtimes, such as lunch breaks, commutes, evenings and weekends are generally the times when people are the most active on social media. So how often should you post? This depends on your audience's taste, and the way to discover this is through trial and error. If you post too infrequently, you'll be off the radar for your audience. However, constant social media posts can seem excessive and annoy your audience. It also depends on the social media platform. Here are some general guidelines for each.
LinkedIn. Plan to post once per day or 20 times per month. A good post length is 25 words or less. Facebook. Focus more on quality than quantity. You can post once or twice a day and try posting at peak times when there is a great deal of activity. Twitter. The best frequency is 3 to 5 times per day, although some users post more often. YouTube. It doesn't matter how often you post on YouTube because your content is there for people to see at any time. But try to get into the schedule of posting links to your videos through your other platforms using the guidelines above. Pinterest. You can post up to 5 pins per day, but spread them out over the course of the day. Don't post them all at once. Instagram. Try to post once per day.
Pay attention to peak traffic times and post during these times. As mentioned above, all social media platforms tend to be busier during work downtime. Each platform has its own peak times and each audience does as well. So start by monitoring when your audience is most active. Also remember to take into account the extent of your global audience and different time zones. If half your audience is on the other side of the world, stagger your posts so that some are at the peak time in each zone. Here are some general guidelines for each platform, but remember that your audience may be different. This data comes from research conducted by CoSchedule and pulled from various sources.
Facebook. The busiest times are 12 to 1 p.m. on weekdays, 3 to 4 p.m. on Wednesdays, and 1 to 4 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays. Posts at 1 p.m. get the most shares, and posts at 3 p.m. get the most likes. Early morning posts are also good as many people check their Facebook account first thing in the morning. Twitter. Twitter is most used at home and at work. The top times are 12 to 3 p.m. on weekdays. B2B users are most active during weekdays, and B2C users are more likely to be on Twitter on weekends and Wednesdays. Instagram. Since Instagram is accessed using mobile devices and not PCs, users tend to be active 24/7. YouTube. Videos can be accessed at any time, so YouTube is in its own category. The key here is to post your content on YouTube whenever it's finished, but get into the routine of promoting your videos on other social media platforms. Pinterest. Activity is generally higher on weekday evenings. There is also high usage 2 to 4 a.m., around 5 p.m. on Fridays, and 8 to 11 p.m. on Saturdays. LinkedIn. Since LinkedIn is geared towards businesses, it's most likely to see engagement during the workday, Monday through Friday, and during morning commute times and lunch times. It's less likely to be checked in the evenings or on weekends.
Social media platforms are free and easy to use, but many businesses have trouble finding the time to manage their social media marketing strategies effectively. Here are some tips to help you manage your time efficiently.
Monitor your time. When you get started, monitor the time you spend on social media and try to keep detailed records on exactly how you use your time. For example, how much time each platform takes. After a few weeks, look at your records and you'll get a good idea of the time invested involved. You can also find some places where you can scale back or make changes to save time. Schedule your social media time. Decide exactly when during each day you're going to spend time on social media. Create time slots according to your audience's peak times. For example, you could spend 10 minutes first thing in the morning reading and sharing content on Facebook. Write posts in bulk. To save time, create posts beforehand and then post them according to your schedule. Sit down for an afternoon or so and create a stock of posts for each social media channel. Then, during your social media time slots, you can just copy and paste and post. You can supplement these pre-written posts by spontaneously writing more timely content as well. Create a time in your schedule on a regular basis for social media content creation. When you get an idea or see something that you like to create something similar to, save it in an idea file. You can refer to this file when it's time to create content so that you don't suffer from writer's block. A good place for your idea file is Google Docs or Evernote, which allow you to store GIFs, images, embedded codes, tweets, videos, and hashtags. Use tools. There are tools available such as Hootsuite and Buffer that can help you manage your social media content and monitoring. Using a third-party tool to schedule your posts and to post across platforms can save you a tremendous amount of time.
You'll also need to set up a process and create a schedule for monitoring your social media efforts. This involves tracking and measuring engagement. This can be built right into your social media strategy. Google Analytics is a free solution that's great for tracking engagement, click-throughs, traffic, and other data to help you make informed decisions about your efforts. Most social media platforms also have their own native tracking features. These are ideal because they're designed by the platform themselves for the purpose of monitoring engagement.
Facebook has the most robust tracking features with its insights. LinkedIn offers stats for posts. You can also check out who's viewed your profile under Profile. Twitter offers tracking with notifications and mentions. Instagram has a heart icon that allows you to see who started following you or interacted with your posts. YouTube offers a wide range of monitoring features. Go to your Analytics tab in your Creator Studio and you can view data such as views, watch time, average view duration, likes, dislikes, comments, top videos, and more. Pinterest's Analytic tab on the left menu bar shows who's viewed your profile, monthly views, engagement, top pins, clicks, saves, impressions, likes, and more. Other social media engagement tracking tools include Klout. Klout gives you an overall social media score that measures your engagement and recognition. It gives you a score from 1 to 100, and it pulls data from various social media platforms including Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+. True Social Metrics. This tool allows you to easily see various data in one simple interface, and it also tracks the same analytics of your competitors. It's good for a big picture view. Hootsuite. Hootsuite offers weekly reports that measure engagement on Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, LinkedIn, WordPress, and Google+. Communit. This is a tool that's designed for Twitter. The free version offers for only 3 days of engagement reporting, but an upgrade of $8.99 per month offers full reporting. Keyhole. Keyhole offers reporting for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It also has an influencers feature, which helps you identify and interact with influential users. Social Mention. Social Mention is a free tool that offers reporting on a very wide range of social media platforms. It's easy to use, but offers in-depth analytics.
Tools aren't enough to successfully measure your success. You need to define success first. What does engagement look like to you? For most businesses, it's the number of comments, likes, shares, and other activity. You have to define exactly what metrics show you that engagement is happening and focus on those metrics. Metrics to watch out for include brand mentions, shares of your company's content on social media, traffic from social media to your website, social media activity such as comments, direct messages, likes, and shares. As you go about posting content and interacting with your audience, pay close attention to what is working and what isn't. When analytics show that your content is working, repeat. Ditch efforts that aren't bringing you any results. You've worked through the course and created your social media engagement strategy, so it's time to put it into action. You have
identified and chosen the best social media platforms to help you successfully engage your audience and maximize the results. Learned how to optimize your social media profiles in order to drive engagement, whether through creating new accounts or tweaking old ones. Incorporated the top strategies to boost engagement through the content you share and the way you interact with your connections. Put all of this together to create an integrated social media strategy, including planning, monitoring, and tracking results.
As you go about engaging your audience and monitoring your results, pay attention to what works and what doesn't. Use data from your analytics to choose the right strategies for engaging your audience. The key to engagement is to always remain focused on your audience, not yourself. Rather than thinking about what's in it for you, try to find ways to help or entertain your audience. If you focus on your audience, your efforts will be more authentic and effective. In addition to constantly monitoring your efforts, you should also keep an eye on changes in the social media world. New platforms emerge and become popular, and old platforms disappear. Once you're actively using the major social media sites and maintaining a presence there, you may also consider branching out into smaller, niche-orientated social media sites. Like the world of social media, your engagement plan should be fluid. Monitor over time and make changes whenever necessary. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this course and wish you all the best in your future business endeavors. From us here at MindMecca, it's goodbye for now. We hope to see you again soon.